Mic test. 1, 2, 3. Mic test. Okay, good morning. Can you guys hear me and see our share screen?
Yes, sir. Rinig po, sir.
Medyo hindi stable ang internet sa buong sang school because of the PLDT issue, no? Okay, so today we will be discussing the introduction to AutoCAD 2021. So this is mainly the phase, no? Ito yung parang first part, okay, in using the AutoCAD software. So if you have no internet or if you have no PC or laptop na capable sa Sininga software, so you can use the web app. Okay, so that is in web.autocad.com. Yan. Wherein you can sign in and then you have your web application software. And so there's no need to have a high specs na hardware, no, or laptop. Okay, so let me hide this one. Hide ko lang yung video natin. So in this chapter or in this module, so we will learn about the AutoCAD user interface. So we will talk about the menus, the buttons, the commands that we'll be using, no, in AutoCAD software. And by the way, have you guys checked the our Tinkercad? So one of the alternative na na software, no, or web application is Tinkercad using 3D. So if you have time, you can just check it out. But we will focus on using the AutoCAD software. So that is just the parang alternative lang na tool, no. So introduction. AutoCAD is legendary software in the world of computer-aided designing. So it has completed 38 years by 2020. If you are a new user of this software or this application, so then the time you spend on learning this software will be a wise investment. So if you have used previous versions of AutoCAD, you will be able to learn the new enhancements. So may mga may mga improvements sa software. So before we use AutoCAD 2016. And let's check the system requirements for this one. So this is the basic requirements or the minimum requirements in order to run the AutoCAD software smoothly on our computer. So first, you should have an operating system that is Windows 7 SP1 or Windows 8.1 or Windows 10, the 64-bit. And then your processor or your CPU should have a speed of 2.5 to 2.9 gigahertz. But the recommended speed of your processor or your CPU would be 3 and above gigahertz processor. Yan. So it doesn't matter kung i5, i3, as long as it have this speed, that is 2.5 to 2.9 gigahertz. Then we have the RAM. So this is the minimum, that is 8 gigabyte or 8 gigabit of RAM. But the recommended one is the 16 gigabit. Yeah. So how can you check your specifications? So later on, I will demonstrate to you. And we have the display resolution. So the conventional display that is 1920 by 1080 with true color. And then we have the high resolution and a 4K display. These resolutions up to 3840 by 2160. Yeah. Then of course the disk space or the hard drive space of your computer should be 7 gigabyte or 7G, 7 GB of free space for installation. And for the browser, we recommend to use Google Chrome. No? But so far, I use the Mozilla Firefox. Wala namang problem. And so you can use the Google Chrome or any browser para sa web. Then you should have a .NET Framework version 4.8. So this is a prerequisite application or software in order to run your AutoCAD. And so how can you see this sa mga hindi pa kabalo on how to check your laptop's processors or specs, no? So you can use you can left click this one sa baba, your toolbar, then you can check with the task or right click with the task manager. Left click, then right click task manager. You can see your specs of your laptop here sa performance. So you can see sa side ko, I have i5 na processor and it runs only 2.4, no? So yung speed ko is 2.4 only. So nasa basic lang siya, below basic pa nga. But I have a RAM. Memory ko is 20 gig. So above the recommended naman siya. So hindi siya nag-hang up. Then for the hard drive, so you should have your disk C or disk D. So nasa ano pa naman, capacity. Ayan yung capacity mo. And then yun lang, no? So wala namang graphics card na requirement. So only the CPU and the RAM. Ayan. Okay, so you can also check your specifications or full specifications of your laptop by typing dxdiag. You can type dx, type nyo lang. Ayan, dxdiag, then i-run nyo lang. Then you will see the whole system, no? Medyo mabagal lang siya. Kaya gina-check niya pa na tanan. Ayan yung information. So you have here your system. You have your system model, your processor, your RAM. Ayan. Then yung display mo naman is nandito. Ayan. So naka 1920 by 1080 ako. Ayan. Then meron pang built-in na graphics card, and so on. So you can check that one sa laptop or personal computers ninyo. Okay. So let's start AutoCAD 2021. So to start, just double click. Okay. So kung wala pa sa start button ninyo, ito yung start button natin ng PC. If wala siya dito, so you can just type. Ayan, AutoCAD. Then you can just click. Ayan, so pag open mo, ito siya. Ito yung run natin. You can see this interface. So this is our AutoCAD interface. Ayan. So we have different tools na hindi pa siya available because hindi pa tayo nagsa-start drawing. Okay, so let's check our notes or learning materials for this one. So ito na yun, no? Ito yun ang user interface natin. So sa web, ito lang siya sa web. Okay? Ito lang yung web mismo once nga nakalagin ka. Ayan. So first, we click the Start Drawing under the Get Started button area of the initial screen to open a drawing file. So the drawing file consists of a drawing window, a ribbon, menu bar, toolbars, command line, and other screen components depending on the workspace that you have selected. So notice nyo na sa notes natin, iba yung theme niya. Light mode siya. While nandito sa akin is naka-dark mode. So later on, we will check that out kung paano ba ibahin yung theme na dark at yung theme na light. Okay, so first, we start drawing. Click lang natin to. Right click, start drawing natin. Yan. So automatically, you can hover na the different commands and tools. So this is our ribbon. Ito yung ribbon natin. Yung buong to. Yan. Ito yung tinatawag nating ribbon. Okay. While sa web app, titingnan natin yung web app. Delete muna natin to. So let's say we start a new, no? So paano ba gumawa ng bago dito? Delete ba yun? Mabagal. Ayan. So just create new drawing. Yung sa kanina is di ba? Start. So we have refresh natin. So I need to log in. Re-log in my account. Ayan. Okay, so next drawing tayo. Let's say intro. So naka-metric lang. Yung scale natin is naka-metric. So, ito lang yung interface natin or user interface when it comes to web application. So, this is the same with the mobile application. Okay, meron silang mobile. I'm not sure if it's capable sa device ninyo, sa smartphone ninyo. But it has the same. No? So, basic commands and functions are here dito sa AutoCAD web natin. But the full tools and commands is available in the software itself. No? But don't worry, kay ang aton mga laboratory exercises just only uses basic commands. So you can use either of the software or the web app. Ayan. Okay, so we have here, ito yung menu natin, yung nasa upper left corner. Then we have the access toolbar. Then this is our ribbon. Then yung ribbons natin is may mga panels. So these are the draw, the modify, annotation, the layers, blocks, and so on. Then we have the in-canvas controls. Dito siya sa badang Then this is the file tab. Dito yung mga tabs mo. Let's say you're working on different new drawings, no? Let's say marami kang drawings. And so this is what we call the file tabs. File tabs of drawing 1, file tabs of drawing 2, or depends sa file name ninyo ng inyong file. Yan, file name ng file nyo. So the same with this one. So dito wala tayong tabs. Okay, so you need to reopen for another one. Okay, if you want to edit or modify another drawing. So you cannot multitask here in using the web app. Next, we have the view cube. So check natin yan mamaya. Then we have the navigation bar dito sa bandang kanan. Then your status bar dito sa baba. Ito yung status bar natin sa baba. Yan. Then of course, we have the command line. And ito yung coordinate system natin. So this is our guide. Okay. So note that in the above figure, we have changed the theme. Ayan. So paano ba mag-change ng theme into dark at light mode? So dito sa natin, close ko lang itong drawing 2. Ayan. So ito yung natin, di ba? Ito yung menu natin command. Okay. So we'll just go to options. Dito na yung options natin. Ayan. Or you can right click dito sa ano, right click dito sa surface, any surface, then you can click options. So that is the second alternative way. Or you can just type sa command na option or options. Yan, kikita mo na yung options. Ayan. Then, over to the display tab. So yung mga tabs natin. So you have files, display, open and save, plot and publish, system, user preference, drafting. So we have different tabs there. So may mga specific uses na sila. So for this case, we choose the display tab. Then we select for the color theme. So ngayon, I use the dark theme, but you can use the light if you prefer. So depende sa preference nyo kung ano yung gusto nyo. So you just apply. And then, okay. So yun yan. Okay. Or you can just balik natin. Dark. Then you can just click OK. Then automatically, it will change the theme of your of the interface. And okay, so that is for the changing the color theme in AutoCAD. So you have three options to open the three alternative ways to open the options dialog box. That is in the menu dito sa upper left, and then options dito. Or you can right click dito sa space, then options. Or you can type the word options in the command. Yan. Okay. So ito yung alternative. Ayan. So you have also drawing windows color or drawing window colors. So it depends on your preference again. So you can just go to the options again. Then you can change for the color. In the display, you have here the color tab. And so it depends on your preference kung anong color yung gusto mo. Let's say for the Corsair, anong color mo? So sa akin, white. So these are the default colors. Okay, but you can change it according to your preference. But I suggest, no, para hindi ka mo sa ulihi, just leave the default colors para in case na, let's say, maka-obra ka mo sa isa ka company na require sa inyo isang AutoCAD, then you still have the basic knowledge of what does that color means sa inang software. Okay, you will still use the default software na paggagamitan ninyo, and the default color will still be there. So kung nasanay ka sa ginawa mong preference, then later on you will encounter some difficulties, no? So you need to reconfigure again the colors that you prefer. Okay. So I suggest na default. So we use the default color. Then we have the workspace. So ano yung workspaces in AutoCAD? So we have three. Okay, so we have three workspaces available in AutoCAD. So that is drafting and annotation. Then we have the 3D basics, and we have the 3D modeling. So by default, we use the drafting and annotation. Okay, so you can create 2D drawings in this workspace, and you can also activate other workspace by using the workspace drop down on the left top left corner or the workspace switch. So you can use these options. So nandito lang siya. Ito yung parang gear. Ayan. So here we have the default, that is drawing dito sa lower right. Drafting and annotation, ito yung default natin. So you can use the 3D basics or the 3D modeling. Ayan. Or you can have this sa upper left naman. You have these options here. Ayan. So you can just select the workspace or check natin. Ayan. Then you can select. Ayan. So pareho lang siya yung dito sa baba. Okay. So naka-default kasi wala siya dito. So uncheck natin para mawala. Ayan. So that is your workspaces in AutoCAD. Okay, so drafting and annotation. So we have here panels, no? So we have that is no, draw, modify, and layers. So these are tools which are grouped, no, based on their usage. So depende naman sa mga paggagamitan. So you have your draw panel, your modify, your annotation, your layers, your block properties, and so on. Yeah. So panels in turn are grouped into various tabs. So we have here for the draw. So you have your line, polyline, circle, arcs, and some basic shapes. Then you have your modify. So here you can stretch or rescale, copy, move, or undo or redo your work, or cut some drawings. And then you have your annotation. So this is your descriptions. So you have your dimensions here, your text, your title, and so on. Yan. So in 3D basics naman and 3D modeling workspaces, so sa later part pa niya, no, sa last part niya, wherein you can create 3D models. So 3D, three-dimensional model of your objects. And so here you can, I will reconnect just for a bit. I will start share screen again. And sorry for the interruption. So we cannot avoid this one. Ayan. So as I said, na, so 3D basics and 3D modeling, you can create your own 3D designs. So front view, top view, left side view, right side view, top view, front view. Yan. So it will be discussed by ano no, sa next natin na topics. So we will be using this one. And so currently for the 2D we use the top view, but you can also hover the screen. And for the front view or the side view and left or the right and so on, or the back. And Ayan. Ito tayo sa gitna. Okay. So here, the application menu, ito yung menu natin kanina. It appears, no, when you click the icon located at the top left of the window. The application menu consists of a list of self-explanatory menu. So meaning you have your new file here or new menu here, or the new button to create a new drawing, open to open a document or file, then save or save as, import or export, publish, print, and so on. So you have here your options here. Or exit Autodesk. Just simply click the X button sa upper right. Then you have your quick access toolbar. So nandyan din yung shortcuts ng menu natin. Okay, so we have here, ito siya. So kung ano yung nandito, ito yung parang quick toolbars. Yan. And dito sa taas. Else, then you have the file tabs. Okay, so you can click the plus button to create a new file. Then you have here your files or your file name, that is drawing 1, drawing 2, and so on. Then you have also the drawing window. So ito yung blank space, no, that is located below the file tab. So here you can draw your objects now and create 3D graphics in the drawing window. So dito ka mag-create. So ito yung parang worksheet mo. Okay. So meron din siyang in-canvas control. And so wherein you can control the set of orientation or the display style of the model. So kung pag naka 3D ka, so you can check the view cube. Ito yung tinatawag nating view cube. Ayan, so you can view the top view, left view, right side view, bottom view, or corner, or side corner. Ayan, so you can click the view cube. Ayan, so you can explore the view cube for your navigation. Then you have also the navigation bar, such as the steering wheel. So we have the pan, zoom, orbit, and show motion. Ayan. So zoom, you can use the scroll of your mouse. Panning is just like ito. Yan, panning. Ito yung panning. And then steering wheel. And so yung steering wheel, ginagamit to pag advanced ka na, especially sa 3D design. Yan. So bihira lang to ginagamit natin for the 2D design. So obviously ito yung gagamitin natin, yung pan, zoom. Yan. Yung orbit naman, ito yung parang pag nag-shift ka from any angle. Pag gusto mo siyang tingnan. Yan. Then you have your show motion. So this is for animated object. Okay, next we have the command line. So ano yung command line? Nandito yung command line, ito yung parang guide mo. Let's say hindi ka na magki-click dito. For example, line. So magki-click ka pa ng line. So instead of clicking that line, you just type here line. Then obviously, you can have your command or your tools here or ang menu natin dito. Ayan. Just type ka lang, di ba? So yun yung purpose ng line dito. So it has a command line. So dati wala tong command sa previous na mga versions ng software. It makes us more efficient in our work, no? With the use of the command button here. So in our web app, so the same, we have the command also. Yan. So you have also your command here, command type. So you have your basic, no? So you have your draw, annotate, and modify. So basic tools are also available sa atong web app, AutoCAD Web. Yan. Okay. So status bar, ayan yung sa baba. Ito yung status bar natin. Ayan. Sa web, ito yung status bar natin sa web. Yung bandang baba. Ayan. So what are the buttons? So we have here the coordinates. So you can customize the status bar. You can customize, no? So here siya yung coordinates natin, naka-check dito sa customization. Ayan. So you can just uncheck if you don't want to show it. Ayan, nawala na. So click natin. Ayan. Or units. So these are the customization na pwede pa natin i-add dito sa baba, no? Ayan. We have different tools here. Yan. So coordinates, ito yung Yan. So anong coordinate ng naka-cursor nyo or nasa cursor? Yan. So this is important or this is useful if you have a certain coordinate map. Let's say sa field, no? May certain coordinate na dira ka maubras ang poste or dira ka maubras ang first grid na kanto sa imong nga floor plan. Yeah, so that's very important when you see the coordinates. And what else? So we have the grid display or shortcut natin ito yung F7 or F9 for the snap mode. For the grid display, so you can press the F7 or click the grid display button. in order to on or off. So, ano yung pinagkaiba niya? So, ito siya, di ba? So, you can on or off. Ayan. Ayan. Pag naka-off siya, walang grid. Naka-on, may grid. So, anong grid ba yun? So, nakita niyo yung parang nasa gitna na linya. Ayan. Pag i-off natin, wala na siyang grid. Pag on naman natin, nandyan siya. Ayan. Then you have the snap mode. Ayan. So, you have options here. You have the polar snap or the grid snap. So, by default, no, we use this, the grid, no? The grid snap. So, naka-off na siya by default, but you can turn it on if you use it. So the snap mode forces the cursor to align only with the grid points. So meaning, ito yung parang guide mo na dyan lang siya mag-a-align sa endpoint niya. Okay, so sometimes you will encounter, especially pag akala mo na akala mo na align mo na siya, pero pag i-zoom in mo siya, yung linya mo hindi naka-align or may sobra or may kulang. Yan. So, very important this one. This is very important also. The grid display and the snap mode when aligning. Okay. Okay, pag print mo na karon, kita mo na may utod or may hindi sugpon na linya. Then you have the infer constraints. So this button is used to automatically create constraints when you draw objects in the drawing window. So constraints are logical operations which control the shape of the drawing. So this is useful in terms of curves. Yan. Okay. Then we have the ortho mode. So you can toggle it on or off. So when you turn it on, you press F8 for the shortcut sa ortho mode natin. So basically, you only have horizontal or vertical lines that can be drawn. Okay, so you cannot hindi ka maka drawing ng tawag siya ng any shape, no, or any lines or zigzag, or let's say gapa-S nga lines when using the ortho mode. Because the ortho mode, parang ito yung shortcut na gagawa ka ng straight line at an horizontal or the vertical. Because without the ortho mode, basi magtiko, di ba? Or basi slant ang imong line, especially kung mahaba siya. So you cannot determine if your line is aligned with the grid, no? So basically, this is very helpful man, no? This tool. Okay. Then we have the polar tracking. So this is used to turn on or off the polar tracking. So shortcut natin is F10. So if naka-on siya, you can draw lines easily at regular angular increments such as, so you have different options for the angle. So you have 5, 10, 15, 18, 23, 30, 45, and 90 degrees. And so you will notice that a trace line is displayed when the cursor is at a particular angular increment. And so this is used in curve, no? Mga curves, let's say ito, circle. Yan. Or let's say itong curve na to, so ilang degrees to. Yan. So basically this is just 180, no? Yung curve na to 180 lang to. Yan. Or half circle. Then we have the isometric drafting. Yan. So this button is used to switch between planes while drawing isometric views. And so shortcut naman natin dito is F8. And then you have the object snap. So the same as snapping, no? Yan. So F11 naman yung shortcut natin. So when this mode is turned on, so you can easily select points. So saan ba yung endpoints na pwede nating kukonektahan ng bagong line? Yan. So ito yung nag-guide, no? Para ma-align natin yung endpoints or bawat kanto ng lines natin. So ito siya. Okay, so let's say meron ka ditong line, then meron ka din dito line. So gusto mong i-connect siya na naka-align dito sa kabila. So with the use of object snap, i-hover mo lang siya dito, yung na-create mo, and then wait mo lang yung trace lines. So meaning ito yung naka-align na line, or ito yung point na naka-align na tadlong. Okay? So pag clinic mo siya, automatically you can have your tracing line na guide. So amo ni siya imo nga endpoint dayon. So pwede ka nakaubra sang another line nga i-connect mo siya sa imo nga horizontal line dire. Yan. So that's the use of the object snap at snap tracking. For the object snap naman, so ito. So this is used for the endpoints, midpoints, and center points, and so on. So depende. So it can align also for the mirror niya na object. Kung perpendicular bala siya sa imo nga pagka-konektahan. Then of course, we have the show or hide line weight. Ayan. So this it displays the default thickness of your object. Ayan. Pero para hindi siya masakit sa mata, if you're working on with your design, so you can show or hide the line weight. Ayan. Ito yung default niya. Ayan. Then you have the 3D object snap. Of course, this is used for the 3D objects. So the same function with the snap, no? Then you have the dynamic UCS. Ayan. So ito yung parang similar to sa Tinkercad, no? So here you can dynamically draw and create objects on any face of a 3D model. So pwede kang magdagdag ng cylinder, let's say dito sa taas niya, and so on. So this is what we call the dynamic UCS. Then the dynamic input, or shortcut natin is F12. And so this is to specify your certain angle or certain length of a line to a specific point, or you can just hover your cursor and then command prompt na lang, sa command na lang ito type mo lang yung dynamic command or dynamic input. Ayan, sa command line. Then you can specify your specific degrees or specific length sa imong line, and so on. Then of course we have the transparency. This is very helpful when it comes to 3D, wherein you can see such layers sa inyong drawing. Okay, so let's say i-front view mo siya. So this is a top view. 2D kita, so top view na siya mostly. So let's say you want to view the side view, and then gusto mo tingnan yung nasa loob niyan or nasa gilid niyan. So you can hover the transparency. You can turn on the transparency mode at a certain angle or a certain object. Yeah. Then we have the quick properties. Yeah. So let's say for the line, so you want it to customize. So ano yung let's check sa quick properties. So let's say we have the line here. So drawing tayo ng line. So let's say 1. Pag click natin ng enter, automatically, so you will have a scale of 1. So this is your 1 meter. Okay, so pag ito naman, ito yung parang snap natin kanina. So just press escape. Okay, click lang natin yung escape natin para mawala siya. Yan. So babalik tayo sa cursor or cursor natin. So just click the line. Then ano yung properties natin dito? Okay, so you have here your layer properties. Okay. So check natin. Ano yung line weight niya? So naka-default siya. Hindi siya naka-transparent, and anong color niya. So you can change the color of your line. Depends sa'yo. Let's say yellow ba to? Yan. So automatically it will change. Then yung line weight natin, so default yan. So tingnan natin. Gawin natin 0.53. Yan. So 0.53 na yan. Okay, so transparency 0 and so on. So you can, so the layers here can modify your properties of your line. Okay, you can close this one. Just click this later on. Or you can have the shortcuts here. Okay. So depende. Depende sa'yo. So this is our first layer. Kung naman siya and so on. So obviously naka-zoom, naka-zoom out. Yan. What else? Then selection cycling. Yan. So this is when you draw a circle. Okay, so selection cycle is very useful while selecting overlap objects. No? With the selection cycle turned on, a list of objects will be displayed. So let's say you have may rectangle ka dyan na object, then you have this selection cycle. So matitingnan mo talaga kung nag-overlap siya sa object mo or hindi. And so you can use the polyline or the circle for your selection. Then annotation monitor. So this is usually this is a monitoring lang. Baka may na kalimutan kang annotate or something na hindi pwede sa drawing mo. Okay? Or let's say nakalimutan mo lang burahin. Yan. So it can monitor the annotation. Or let's say may mga blank spaces ka na type. Yan. So magpa-prompt yan, no? Mag-display yan ng error na katulad nito. So you have this annotation na nandito. Okay. Then you have your model. Yan. Or model or paper space. So this button is used switch, no, between the model space and paper space. So here you can create drawings sa model, and then sa paper naman you can print drawings. So magkaiba yung sa model tsaka sa paper space. Then we have the scale. So this is the scale of annotation. So this is mainly used, no, in floor plan. So let's say how many meters is this one? Going back tayo. Ayan. For this one, 1 meter to, di ba? Create natin 1 meter. So you can have your dimension. Okay, so from this point, yan. Click na natin. Specify tayo. Oh, pati ba to? Mali. Okay, so may block tayo. So you can have your properties. So ito yung dimension, ito yung annotation. Yan. Tingnan natin. Linear ba to? So obviously this is in polar. Pa-polar tayo. Pero naka-line natin. Okay, so 1. Pero iba to eh. Wait. Ito magkita yung sa... Ayan. Standard naman siya. But ito yun eh. Origin of the line natin is ito. Gawa tayo ng bago. Just create new here. Kasi din, ano natin yung drawing. Delete natin. The default natin. May layer. Default natin yung layer natin. Ayan. Then yung color. Palitan natin ng default. Sige, yellow na lang. So let's say we have a certain line here. So kuha tayo ng line. And let's say ito, 1. Let's say 0.5. Then you have, naka-ano tayo na, naka-ortho ah. Ayan, so naka-ortho tayo. So may guide tayo. 0.2. So yan, 0.2 yan. Then, balik tayo ng 1. Type lang natin yung 1. Then, ay, hindi pala 1. Undo tayo. So, Control Z for the undo. So, 0.5 pala to. Yan. So, automatically, may measure niya yung ano. Then, you have your 0.2. Yan. Then, press escape. So, paano natin ito ma-dimension? So, specify natin yung object. Dapat naka-align to eh. Oops. Specify. Yan. Bakit may ganito? Hindi ko ma-adjust. Sige, so later on i-ano natin to, yung sa annotation, no? May config lang na hindi ko na check. Okay. Then you have your annotation visibility, yan, auto scale. Ito dapat yung auto scale eh. So changes the annotation scale of the object. So depende pag let's say ito yung scale mo. So you have your specific dimensions. So depende kung 1:1 or 2:1. Yan. Okay, workspace switching, already done with this one. Graphics performance, so it depends, no? If you have your graphics card, so you can toggle this on or off. Isolate objects, yan. So syempre, you can have your isolation. So pwede ka mag-select ng certain object mo na i-hide mo siya or some object na maging visible siya. So pag may mga layers ka na no, sa mga drawings mo, later on it will be useful sa 3D drawings. Clean screen, so ito yung parang fresh. I-hide natin yung yung mga ribbons, toolbars, lahat. Yung makikita mo lang dito will be your workspace lang. Mawawala ito yung mga tools mo. So I suggest do not click that one, yung clean screen. Ayan. Kasi baka baka sabihin mo nawala yung mga toolbars mo, nawala yung mga panels mo. So baka napindot mo yung clean screen. Ayan. So we have already discussed this one, menu bar. So you have here quick access toolbars. Then you just click show menu bar para makita mo. Then of course you have your zooms. Ayan. So mga basic tools nandiyan naman. I'm not sure if nandito rin siya sa Ito, may zoom pala. Ayan. So nandito rin siya sa web app. Yung zoom natin. Layers natin. Ayan. Lux. Okay. So parang wala yung yung hide natin or unhide. So limited lang yung pero yung basic tools naman is nandito. Ayan yung coordinates pala. Okay, so you can check your coordinates here. Ayan. Para makita mo. Okay, so nandito siya. Ito, yung coordinates mo. Okay, ano pa? Minimize the panels. To panel titles. Minimize the tabs. So you have your basic tools there. But if you have questions with a specific command or tools, you can just message me. I will answer your queries or concerns with this one. Or let's say you encounter a problem pag nag-laboratory na ka mo exercise. I will just ma-send mo ko sang mga tutorial video kung paano siya ubrahon ang inyong laboratory. Okay. Para may may ilugan. Then you have your tool palettes. Yan. Ito. sa view, then tool palettes. Dito rin banda. I will just close this one. So view, then tool palettes. And just click the toolbars here. And yung home na dito yung basic panels natin. Ayan. May mga shortcut menus tayo. So, default menu. So you can edit your shortcut menu. You can add specific menu or tools na let's say per memo na gamit. Yan. And of course, the command mode. The grip shortcut. So yung iba dito hindi naman natin ginagamit or hindi natin gagamitin. So we will just focus on the basics. No? Importante kabalo ka mo mag-operate sa AutoCAD. Because some skills or some tools, you may encounter this one, especially sa mga advanced na during your OJT, kung maka-OJT ka mo sa mga construction firm, no? Or sa inyong first work. Yan. Okay, so we have your selection window. So, paano ba mag-select dito? Let's say itong line na to, select ko. So, just left click isa lang. And then, hover mo lang siya. Yan. Then, left click. So, automatically, you will select your objects. Yan. Or just press escape if you want to cancel it. So, if you click or something, okay, so if you have clicked on something na mali, you just click, press escape para ma-undo natin. Okay, so we will tackle this one later on. And ito yung kanina. Ito yung mga previews. So you can have your templates, no? So, anong template yung gagamitin natin? So you can use the acad.dwt or the drawing lang, no? Drawing lang mismo. So hindi naman tayo nagti-3D. Ito yung mga templates na default, no? So later on, if you have your activity now, just use the file extension that is .wt or the drawing. Yeah. So this is used for the 2D drawing. Then for the template naman na 3D, you can use the ACAD ISO 3D or ACAD ISO for the 2D.wt. And save as nyo lang siya. Okay, so for this one, for example, like this one. So save. Yan. So ito. .twg siya. Kasi ito yung drawing siya. Drawing to, hindi to template. Okay. But for the template, so ano bang ibig sabihin ng template? Ito yung parang, alam mo, ayan. So you can have your templates. Ito yung parang guide mo. Okay. Ito yung parang guide mo. You can have your ACAD or ACAD ISO or 3D for the 3D design. May mga instructions naman tayo later on. So command list. So the last part of these lecture notes, no? Ito yung mga various commands na ginagamit natin para dito sa command prompt dito sa baba or dito rin sa command window mismo dito sa baba. So you may familiarize each of the commands here. And so let's say arc. So you use to create an arc. So no need to press the arc button sa dito. And just use the command arc and specify the center or specify the point of reference. And so on. So marami yan. So yung command ito yung parang shortcut ng tools, no? Para hindi ka na maghanap dito sa pipindutin mo. And so, type mo na lang dito yung pangalan ng tool. Let's say line or polyline or circle or arc and so on. And yung naging isa sa mga enhancement ng application na to with this latest software. Okay, so ano pa? Yan na, no? So questions, guys, before we end our discussion. So it's about time naman. Anyway, open notes naman yung ano natin. So no worries for this one. So we'll stop sharing. Do you have questions, clarifications?
Sir.
May pamangkot? Wala. So are we clear with this one? Okay, so I think you have your first activity. I think that is your assignment, no? Or exercises. So try to answer your self-evaluation exercise 1. So that is posted na sa ano sa atong Neo LMS, and the deadline would be I think that's ano lang, short lang na siya nga ano exercise. Next meeting, no? March 9. Okay. Yan, March 9 yung deadline nito, 5 p.m. So try to answer this one and submit it by next meeting. Okay. So that's it. So thank you for joining, attending our class for today, and enjoy your lunch. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.